This podcast is part of the Pull Up a Chair podcast network. Let's build community through connection, conversation, and collaboration.
What does it mean to be happy? 'Cause it looks like we all don't know. Glass half full or empty. Man, we just putting on a show.
Welcome to How's That Working For You Season 2. It's your girls Cat and Vee, but this time we're taking deeper dives into mental health and breaking stigmas. So get ready because things are about to get real and personal. Hey V, what's going on?
I think it's about time for us to do our life update episode. Be our second one.
You would be right with that. I think it's about time. Should I start or should you?
I think you should start. You have a more interesting life than I do.
I will disagree with that. I think...
Girl, you're traveling the world.
Okay, I can't argue with that statement, but I switched from Android to iPhone. That's like one of the biggest transitions I've ever made in my life, to be honest.
I can only imagine.
I know. It's a very controversial issue for some reason, but it is. And I have a lot of mixed feelings about it. However, since I switched, I have to say that AirDrop has made my life as a creator so much more convenient. Like it's been worth it for that to me. However, when I tried to transfer all of the information from my old phone to my new phone, like, first of all, not everything went through. Second of all of my photos and videos and all the stuff that I had in folders are no longer in folders anymore.
Oh my God. And it took you so long to get organized.
I'm gonna... well, it's my phone. It's not as bad as the computer. It would be worse if it were the computer.
I'd give up. I'd throw the computer out and just get a whole new one. Start from scratch.
Oh my God. Well, technically, that's what you would be doing anyway, because you're transferring it to a new computer, right?
Just new data.
You just like start from scratch. You wouldn't even try to transfer. You'd use it as like a hard drive. That's been an ordeal. I have these things that I keep needing to do, like, you know, those things that you put on your to-do list that, like, if you're gonna like put on a Netflix thing and then do it. One of them is go through my emails, like all the junk emails. Do that. Another one is now reorganize the folders in my iPhone because now there aren't any folders, which is a nightmare, to say the least. And I don't know. You know me, V. I've had a lot of growing pains when it comes to getting organized. Like, that's not something that comes natural to me, but I know that when I do get down to it, I'm actually really good at it. And I get very anal about it.
I think your problem is consistency, because when you sit down to do it, it's great, but you never keep up on it.
Yeah, I will admit to that. And also getting started. Like, just sitting down and doing it is like the biggest kicker for me.
Yeah, but when you do sit down to do it, you do amazing. So it's just getting to that point.
I'm like, I don't give myself enough credit for what I can do, and that's why that sabotages me a lot when it comes to trying to get shit done. But I'm turning over a new leaf. Jordan and I think on our last life update we said that we might go to Hawaii, but I think we're switching off to Denver now. Denver, Colorado. I mean, of course everyone knows Denver's in Colorado. What am I talking about?
I mean, there could be a Denver in Minnesota. We don't know.
That's true. Because I'm getting really into ice skating. We wanted to go to a place where ice skating would still be somewhat accessible. But I also got a pair of roller skates too, which I'm super excited to start using. And apparently it's a thing in Colorado. There are a lot of roller rinks, a lot of them. I was looking it up and I was like, wow, I don't know. I know it's a very trendy thing to roller skate right now. I think there's something more empowering about the fact that you can learn to skate whenever you want to. Like that's something that I recently discovered about myself, and that's why I keep wanting to pick up these new skills. So I don't know, roller skating and ice skating seem to be skills that kind of overlap in a sense. So I did that. That was another thing that I did. I got a pair of roller skates. Also, I got knee pads and elbow pads and wrist pads.
Oh, good.
Because I
gotta protect those knees.
I know, yeah. Because if I'm gonna practice jumping or any of that type of stuff, stay safe. I need to stay safe because I'm not getting any younger. That's the double-edged sword with learning stuff when you're older, is that it's, especially physical activities, the chance of getting injured is exponentially higher than it was when you were a kid. I have to say, I'm grateful. That's what I have to say. I'm grateful for the opportunity to do this, and I have a very, very healthy relationship that supports this lifestyle. So honestly, can you imagine doing this with an abuser? No, thank you. Yeah, let's not do that. This is the How's That Working For You podcast, so it's okay to mention things like that here.
Yeah, but if you want to hear us have more fun, go on over to the Cat and Vee show. That podcast will definitely be linked down below, where we're just more ourselves.
We're more ourselves. We talk more about random topics we want to talk about, I guess. This one's a little bit more polished. Thanks to Vee. She's much better at polishing things than I am.
Well, with the exception of the life updates like this one. This is the more unpolished of the How's That Working For You, but it's fine. I feel like it's important because seeing that living with mental illness can still be exciting and fun is important. It's not all doom and gloom.
Yeah, actually, now that you mentioned that, maybe I should talk about like how these things are affecting, like how it kind of interacts with how I maintain my own mental health, you know?
Yeah, I think that would be useful.
Yeah. So, as you know, if you've been listening to our podcast or following me in any type of capacity, I talk about the fact that I have bipolar a lot. I also have ADHD and I'm ex-bulimic. I say that. I don't know. I haven't had any type of relapse in terms of that in a long time, but it doesn't mean that these things don't affect me. I think that, first of all, there are actual moments where I stop and mentally pat myself on the back for making it this far, in terms of I never would have imagined in a million years that I, one, would be a functioning adult traveling this, like the way that I am with, with the things that I have going on. Like I am also in school too. And I have a job, sort of. Yeah, it is a job. What am I saying? Yeah. So I work, and it's a lot of stuff to handle. And sometimes I'll be like so overwhelmed that I don't know what to do. But at the same time, I pat myself on the back for coming this far, because there were so many moments where I just never thought I would ever be able to adult the way that I am now, you know?
And you're able to do that all on the road, which is incredible.
I still struggle with routine, but Jordan and I are going to do yoga today. And I have been doing yoga more often. Again, I've been back on that. And I don't know. It's not easy. I'm going to say that. It's not easy. Hopefully as we start, because I don't know when we're going to stop traveling, to be honest, but I hope that it gets either it gets easier or I get better at it. It's probably going to be a little bit of both at that point. I guess this is like one that's very, very related to what our podcast is about. I ran out of Adderall, which is a medication that...
Oh, hell no.
Yeah, I ran out of Adderall for like a week, a solid week. I had actually called my mom to pick it up and send it to me before I ran out. But the whole mail situation to Alaska got messed up, and then the package got sent back to my mom, and then she had to send it back up here. And that created a whole week of me trying to function without Adderall.
All right, let me just inform the listeners here. Cat with either too little or not enough Adderall is a unfunctioning cat. She will be there physically. Her productivity, on the other hand, will be MIA.
Yeah, it's definitely
Well, congratulations on making it through that week without losing your job or getting kicked out of school.
I actually did okay, and I'm trying my best to only use Adderall when I need it, like when I have a really large workload, which is a lot very often these days. But if I can get away with like being disciplined and just sitting down and doing it, which I can, and I have, like I did for the past week, was like a nightmare for me, because I would like get started on something and then 10 minutes later, I'd find myself somewhere else in the room, just doing something completely different. And then I'm like, oh my God, it's a challenge. But yeah, I know that there's a lot of stigma around mental health medication. And I think that we have an episode scheduled to talk about that down the pipeline, right, V?
Yeah, we definitely do.
But especially Adderall, because Adderall can be seen as a commonly abused recreationally drug.
And I can see how it could be for certain people. It's all about the responsibility surrounding it.
Yeah, but it for me, I need it a lot, you know, and I didn't like it when I didn't have the medication, and I didn't like the fact that I was like, oh my God, I had to really talk to myself and say, yes, you can do this without Adderall. You're fine. You don't need it right now, you know, and
you're not gonna die.
Yeah, but it is significantly harder for me to finish tasks when I don't have it.
Oh yeah, I know. You'll like reread the same sentence 4 times and then find yourself on Instagram unceremoniously like, oh, I read that sentence. Wait, there was 2 more I was supposed to read. All right, I'll read them now.
Especially when it's work that I don't want to do.
Yeah, I can see that.
Ever since I've shifted my content strategy in terms of, I used to be very yoga centric, and now I actually talk a lot more about mindset and my own mental health journey. I've been connecting with a lot of people that struggle with the same things I do. They DM me, they comment on my stuff, and it's just, I feel like it's very empowering to know that I'm not alone in it. And I feel like adult women with ADHD have a very unique experience that is not the same, but pretty similar for women in that category. Because there are a lot of, what I've been finding is there are a lot of creators on TikTok especially that talk about like having ADHD and stuff like that, which I hope to maybe go in that route and talk about my experience too. But apparently there was a TikTok that was talking about how the perspective of being in a relationship with someone with ADHD, and I literally had a conversation like that with my boyfriend, in terms of like, sometimes I don't hear everything that he says to me. And I hate that I don't hear everything that he says to me. But sometimes my mind just isn't fully focused on what he's saying. And it's not my fault. I mean, no, I'm not gonna say that. It's not my intention, but sometimes because I have ADHD, my attention goes elsewhere. And that was something that when I saw somebody else struggled with that, I knew that other people struggled with it, but when you see it, it made me feel a lot more comfortable being the way that I am. So, but on the other hand, I also appreciate having a partner that's typical minded. I think we talked about we talked about what atypical and typical, the differences. Having a partner that's typical minded, that is patient enough to understand and work with me with that type of stuff. Because I don't know, I think that people with ADHD have a bad reputation for either being lazy or stupid or like just not conscious of their surroundings and stuff like that. And it's a real struggle. That's what I have to say. I know sometimes, because it was like this for me in the past, it's hard to believe that there's going to be somebody out there that's going to deal with your bullshit. But there are. And I'm so grateful that I found someone for me that really shows me that he cares and is patient with all of my weird tics and atypicalness that comes with the magical and amazing person that I am. Oh my gosh, can we talk about the outfit that you're wearing right now?
Okay, so the viewers, or I guess listeners, can't tell, but we video chat while we do this, and I decided to cosplay as Cat today.
I don't know, did you consciously make that decision?
It was a conscious decision. I am wearing a turtleneck underneath a overall dress, and I have pigtails, and I am cosplaying as Cat today. When my husband woke up this morning, he's all like, "Why are you dressed like Cat? Did you steal that from her?"
Did he really say that?
First thing out of his mouth is, "Why are you dressed like Cat?" And I was all like, "Isn't it cute?" And he's like, "I guess cute would be the right word. It reminds me of like kindergartner chic." And I was all like, kindergartner chic, okay.
I don't know how I feel about that. I think I called it like something like adult toddler aesthetic.
The whole toddler aesthetic.
I don't know. I live in my like cartoon graphic t-shirts, and then I have the like, I love overalls. I haven't been able to wear anything besides yoga pants and just a million layers of stuff because I live in Alaska right now and we haven't been able to go back, but I'm excited to go back and like see what clothes I still fit into.
I am wearing overalls for you then. My ass is falling out though. The skirt is way too short for me. It looks fine in the front.
Where'd you get that?
Dee Dee's.
Oh, okay. Cute. I like it. I'd wear it. That's funny that Michael made that connection too. I honestly, if I saw that outfit, I would have just said it was cute. I wouldn't have made the connection that you were trying to dress like me.
Yeah. He told me I need to put on some burnt orange or like mustard yellow and it would be perfect. I was like, I don't own any burnt orange or mustard yellow because it looks awful with my skin tone. But yes, that is...
It was great on my skin tone, so...
Yeah, no, it compliments you well. It just not for me, but it's fine. I'm at home. Nobody can see me but you. But our listeners can imagine what I look like.
Didn't you take a picture for Instagram? You should post it on Instagram.
I might post it around the time this episode goes live.
Yeah. Anyway, tell me about this tea that you just had to scream at your family for.
So my family's going through their their first crisis of 2021. And it's exhausting. Like, I keep hoping, like, this will be the fight that ends all fights. Just like how World War I was supposed to be the war that ended all wars.
Oh, gosh.
It's not gonna happen. I remind myself that certain people aren't gonna live forever, and I should be grateful that they are alive and I can spend a bit more time with them. But it also does a lot to remind me that if I am ever in crisis, I will never reach out to any of these people. Oh my god. No. No.
You can reach out to me.
Yeah, like I have a different support network than the people that I support, and I guess I want to take this moment to remind all of our listeners, just because you're there for somebody doesn't mean they're going to be there for you, and it's fine. It's fine. Not everybody has to always be 100% close. And it's so exhausting.
I mean, this has been a constant battle for you, V.
I mean, it goes through cycles, because before this, they didn't talk to me for like a month. Because there was nothing to talk to me about.
No, they only reach out, and this is the most frustrating part about me as a bystander is I watch this. They only reach out to you when they need something. They never reach out to you just to see how you're doing or to like check in with you or anything like that. They only reach out to you when they need something from you, which is way more often than not. It's just...
Yeah. But that's the life update for everybody. Stay tuned. So make sure you subscribe to this podcast or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Bye.
Want to help support the Pull Up a Chair podcast network? Donations keep this show and others in our lineup going. All donations are tax deductible. Links with more information can be found in the description of this podcast.
Sarah and Scooter Podcast is a conversation between...
You guessed it.
Sarah.
And Scooter. We are not experts on any of these topics.
Just hoping to spark something like an idea, conversation, or even a revelation.
Subjects will vary depending on our friends, family, and community.
Sometimes it will be what we want to talk about.
New episodes drop every week on all of your favorite podcast formats.
So pull up a chair and let's
talk about stuff.